Hello, and welcome to Verbling. Hi, I'm teacher Oakley, and today at this hour here on Verbling, and tomorrow, actually kind of a two-part class, we are going to be taking a 7th grade midterm English exam. Woohoo! So the question is, are you smarter than a 7th grader? Today's class will focus, of course, on the first half of the exam, which is by and large reading comprehension. Uh, Interesting thing about this particular series of exercises we're going to be doing, this is an actual midterm exam that I got my hands on. The interesting thing about it is that the question types are pretty much, many of them, and we can talk about this as we go along as well, many of the question types are exactly the same format, exactly the same style as you might find on an IELTS exam or a TOEFL exam. Just a lot easier, a lot less ambiguous vocabulary, a lot less formalized vocabulary. So simpler versions, really what we'll be doing, reading comprehension questions, which are actually simpler versions of the reading exam in TOEFL or CAE or IELTS. So anybody interested in the future taking one of these exams, actually this may be a little simpler, but it's maybe a good format for you to understand the different types of questions that you will be getting on one of these standardized English exams. Of course, this is a test for 7th graders, so we're talking about 13 years old. So the vocabulary is not as sophisticated, nor really sentence structure as you would see in an IELTS or TOEFL or some such exam. Okay, so today we're going to focus basically on reading comprehension. Tomorrow, more sentence structure and straight up grammar. Okay. Of course, students will take turns both doing some reading, and then there's a reading a paragraph or a couple paragraphs, short passage, and then we'll take turns answering questions about the reading. First one's pretty easy. It gets a little progressively more difficult as we go along. So first one's more or less. Okay, Carlos, how are you today? Welcome.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome to the class. Where's everybody else? Where is everyone today? Okay, no matter. Okay, well, here we go. I see no reason to not get started. Again, what we're doing is we're going to take a mid-semester or midterm English test as would be given to the 7th grade, middle school, or junior high school, as we call it in America. Okay, we're going to read this short passage and then answer the questions. So basically, reading comprehension. Carlos?
Yes, sure.
I see no reason not to start. So until we get other students in here, and by the way, plenty of room in the class. Just come on in, join the class at any time. Until somebody shows up, Carlos, go ahead and just read.
Okay, teacher.
Starting from here.
Walking school bus is just like a school bus, except children walk to and from school under the supervision for adult volunteers, often parents. This creates a fun yet safe and social journey to school. Children are collected from stop along a plain road and dropped off at the school gate. Along the way, they learn how to safely negotiate the roads as well as socialize and share stories with friends and neighbors. What a great way to travel to schools.
Okay. All right, you got the first two paragraphs. Carolina's with us. So, Carolina, hi. Good evening. Hello, hello. All right, we're doing a little reading comprehension exercise. Carolina, why don't you finish off the reading?
Okay. Walking school buses contribute to reducing the amount of traffic around schools. In Auckland, there are more than 200 active walking school buses, with over 4,000 children walking to the school. That is a lot of active feet on the street. Walking buses usually begin at 8:30 am, but this depends on length of the route and the stop that the children get on at. Routes vary in length, usually about 1.5 kilometers and or a 30 minutes walk at most. Most walking school buses walk the reverse route in the afternoon. A walking school bus can operate all 5 days of the school week, or as little as 1 day per week. This depends on the availability of parent volunteers.
Very good. Perfect. Okay. Good pronunciation, both of you. Carlos, a little shorter vowel on bus. It's bus, not bus. All right. So short sound. Bus. Carlos. All right. Now the questions. Reading comprehension. So go ahead.
What is a walking school bus? A usual school bus. B a bus with people walking beside it. C a way to transport children to and from school on feet. D a bus that encourage people to walk.
Okay.
So
What do you think?
I am a little bit confused. I think it's the letter C.
You think it's the letter C, and so do I. Okay, here's basically defining the main point is the point of the question. Okay. Yes, this has the most detail, okay, and it is specifically defining the walking school bus. Okay. Again, it's just as a reference, since most of the VerbLink students are adults, and you may be more interested in obviously than taking maybe an IELTS or a TOEFL or CAE exam. I will be actually talking about those things as we go along. Notice, okay, the answers are just totally wrong, or misleading, or not enough information. D is close, a bus that encourages people to walk. Well, yeah, but it's not really a bus. So, okay, misleading. This is taking these kinds of reading comprehension exams. It's actually easier to get to the point by eliminating the wrong answers rather than really actively going for the correct answer. You're really eliminating the wrong answers. This next question, yes, go ahead.
So the answer is the letter D?
No, the answer is C. You are perfectly correct. D is misleading because it's not a bus as we normally conceive of a bus. A bus is a motorized vehicle. So, No, there's no motor. People are just walking. So yeah, you got it right. You're good.
Okay.
Next question is definitely both in the IELTS and the TOEFL exam, exactly this style of question. Carolina, you want to try this one?
Okay. Which sentence is true about walking school bus? A walking school bus is fun but not safe. A walking school bus is supervised by taller volunteers. Children are collected from their houses. Walking school buses help to decrease the traffic amount around the school. I
Okay.
think it's C. D.
CD. Okay. One notes pronunciation supervised, not supervised. Supervised.
Okay.
3 syllables. Supervised. Okay. All right. Okay. As we can see, this is also this is really a kind of a simplified IELTS or TOEFL. So they're doing the same thing here. They're giving you half the answer is correct. It's fun. Yes, it is. The passage does say it's fun, but it is safe, not safe. The opposite. So the classic kind of IELTS or TOEFL trick answer or trap answer. It's supervised by volunteers. Here's another classic IELTS trick strategy is to give you the opposite or totally incorrect adjective. Here's toddlers being used as an adjective. Toddlers. What's a toddler, Carolina?
Is a child between maybe 1 to 3 years old.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Toddler refers to the fact that they're still figuring out how to walk and run properly. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, so the first two are easy to eliminate. Again, you're kind of using process of elimination. Why did you choose D over C?
Because I read the third paragraph, and the third paragraph say that.
Okay. Yes, it directly mentions that specifically. Yeah. Third, yeah, here it is. Reducing the amount of traffic around schools. The C, okay, obviously they're going to get the children from their houses. Most likely, it seems obvious, but does it actually say that? No, it says children are collected from stops along a planned route. Right. So, just like IELTS and TOEFL, if it's not in there, then it's not right. The answer will be in the reading passage. Okay, Carlos, number 3.
What time do walking school buses usually begin? I don't remember.
Yeah?
I
Something's
don't
wrong here.
remember. I think letter
It's
A.
okay. We can look. It's all right. We can definitely look. This is definitely very wrong, though.
Could you up the page, please?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Okay. I say 8 past 30 p.m.
What?
8 past 30 p.m.
Yeah.
The buses begin.
8:30. Usually begins at 8:30 p.m. a.m.
Okay.
All these times are p.m., which is crazy. There's a mistake here.
Yes.
This should be a.m. Sorry. Accident. So you got it. Okay. These types of questions are searching for very specific information. They do exist in the TOEFL exam, but they're rare. They're very easy. You just find the information. So it's very specific. Can't really go wrong on that one. Okay. Carolina, number 4.
How many days per week does a walking school bus run? 1 to 5 days a week.
Yeah,
6
another.
days.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were giving me the answer.
Okay. 6 days a week, 7 days a week, only on weekends.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the first one. 1
So
to
the
5
first
days
one.
a week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, very specific information. Okay. All right. Well, that's because this is a 7th grade test. You may run into these in more standardized tests, but they're rare and there's only 1 or 2. However, then question 5, these are fairly common on both IELTS and TOEFL and CAE reference questions. What does the word reference? Okay, Carlos, try this
The
one.
word they in the sentence along the way they learn how to safely negotiate the road refers to let me see.
Would you like me to scroll up?
I think there are they refer to um, letter C, added volunteer.
Well, okay. The strategy here for reference questions, we have to see what's really in front of or before the actual statement. So let's see if we can find it here. Along the way, they learn how to safely negotiate. Okay, let's look for maybe negotiate. Okay, negotiate. All right. Along the way, they learn to safely negotiate the road as well as socialize and share stories. So we need to look at what's in front of that to see what they is referencing. Yeah. Children, no S, Carlos. Children.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's basically the strategy for reference questions. You need to look at obviously what comes before because it refers to something before. So yeah, once we look, it becomes pretty obvious we're talking about children. Okay, very good. All right, new text. Okay, for the next set of questions. Okay, let's see. Hang on, maybe I can make this easier for you guys to read. Let me see if I can change the font. Okay, let's see if that makes it a little easier. Okay. All right, so Carlos had the last question. Carolina, can you start? Lots of names here.
Frida Kahlo, as painter, was born on July 6th in 1907 in the house of her parents, known as La Casa Azul, the Blue House, in Coyoacán. At the time, this was a small town on the outskirts of Mexico City. Guillermo and Matilde, Frida's parents, had 4 daughters, with Frida being the third.
Okay. Very good. In reference to the date, July 6, 1907. Yeah, okay. Native speakers tend to pronounce the 0 as O. So
Okay.
1907. It's a little different when we get to the 2000s, though. Okay, 2006, 2007. Okay, so we tend to say it a little differently. Some people say 1907. Okay, so it's not, your answer's not completely wrong, but all right, Carlos, you want to take over?
When Kahlo was 3 years old, the Mexican Revolution began in 1910. In her writings, she recalled that her mother would usher her and her sister inside the house as a gunfire etched in the stone of her hometown, which was extremely poor at the time.
Okay. Carlos, the verb here, gunfire, echoed. Okay.
Echo.
Echo, 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 echo.
Yeah.
And what is
Okay,
the
like
meaning
that.
of usher? Usher? Usher?
Okay, another verb. Proceeded with would usher. Okay. An usher can be a verb or a noun. In some movie theaters, where the ones where you buy your ticket and your ticket is like F7, F8, you know, you have a specific seat number.
Mm-hmm.
There is an usher, a person who ushers you, guides you to your seats. Okay.
Okay.
So that person's job would be he's an usher at the movie theater. He take people to their seats. Or in a wedding, you know, when you sit in the church, usually somebody guides you to your seat at a wedding. He's an usher at the wedding. Okay, and his job is to usher you. Okay, welcome, Sam. Hi, Sam. Welcome to the class. How are you today?
Yes, hello. How are you? Fine, thank you.
Okay. I'm okay. We're doing a 7th grade midterm exam. We're doing a little reading comprehension exercise. So we're doing a reading part right now, kind of coming in the middle. But can you read the next paragraph, please, Sam?
Yes. Occasionally, men would leap over the walls into their backyard, and sometimes her mother would prepare a meal for the hungry revolutionaries. Revolutionaries.
Revolutionaries. Yeah. Revolutionaries, of course, are people who are
Mhm.
revolting. Okay. Well, let's just keep going round and round. Carlos, next paragraph. 3 years later.
3 years later, Kahlo contracted polio, which left her right leg thinner than the left, which Kahlo disguised by wearing long skirts. In 1922, Kahlo was enrolled in the Preparatoria, one of Mexico's premier schools, where she met another artist, Diego Rivera, whom later she fell in love with. They were married in 1929.
Okay. And another verb, Kalo, up here, Carlos. Kalo disguised. Okay. To disguise is to hide or alter so it looks different. Okay.
Okay.
Disguise is the pronunciation. So she hid her one thinner leg by wearing long skirts. Okay. Carolina, continuing.
In the 1950s, Frida's health began to deteriorate. She became very ill and needed to be hospitalized. Her right leg was also amputated because amputated
Amputated.
amputated because of gangrene. After a long period of illness, Frida died on July 13, 1954, a week after her 47th birthday. Today, an urn holding her ashes on display in her former home, La Casa Azul, the Blue House in Coyoacán. This is a museum housing a number of her works of art and numerous relics from her personal life.
Yeah. Okay. Amputate ends with a T. So any verbs that end with a T or a D, that's when we actually pronounce the ED as a separate syllable. Amputate, id. Okay, there is a mistake here, grammatical mistake. There should be an article here after a long period of illness.
Okay.
So that's my mistake there. Okay, very good. All right, now let's Let's look at the questions here. Hang on. Okay. All right. Where are we here? Here we go. First set of questions. All right, Sam. All right, a direct question. Sam, number 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
How old was Frida Kahlo when she contracted polio?
Yeah. Want me to scroll up? I don't think you were here.
Yes, maybe.
I don't
Maybe.
think you'd come in the class yet.
Yes.
Maybe I don't know.
4 years.
Let's see. Okay. See. Okay. Now this
3 years
also.
old. 3
This
years
also.
old.
This also happens in. Okay. This is also very common in IELTS or TOEFL tests.
Mm-hmm.
They ask you to do a little bit of math.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So when Kayla was 3 years old, the Mexican Revolution began in 1910.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then later, gives a lot of more information, and then 3 years later,
Okay.
contracted polio.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Means 3 years that, and after 3 years, it's 6
Okay.
years.
Okay, so there you go. The answer, 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, this reading comprehension was designed for a 12 or 13-year-old kid, but it does many of the same things you would see on an IELTS or a TOEFL test. And sometimes one of these exams will ask you to basically do a little bit of math. Okay, I would like to welcome Carlos, another Carlos, second Carlos, to the class. Long time no see. Good to see you again.
Hello, teacher. I am so
Hi.
sorry because my internet connection didn't work, and
Okay.
I arrived to the class so late.
Okay. We're doing reading comprehension, so we already did the reading. Were you able to hear that or no? Because of your connection. You didn't see the reading or hear the reading. Sorry. No?
Yeah, I see the.
You did. Okay. You can
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no, not teacher. I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not teacher.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to skip you for the next set of questions, and then we'll throw you in after. All right. Carlos, other Carlos.
Okay, what was Diego Rivera's occupation when Frida Kahlo met him? Letter A. He was artist.
Yes, he was. Okay, very good. More very direct information. Okay, there's quite a few of these in this test, and again, in an IELTS or a TOEFL, there may be 1 or 2 questions like that. Carolina, now this type of question is very common in both TOEFL and IELTS. Pain in the neck type of question. All right, which is not true. Okay, Carolina, go ahead.
Okay, which sentence is not true based on the test? Frida Kahlo had 3 sisters. That is not true.
Hmm?
The A is not true.
It is. Really?
Yes, because I wrote that part too. She has 3 sisters more.
Okay, where was that? Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Frida's parents had 4 daughters, with Frida being the 3rd. So, more math. Okay. So that's not true?
Yes, that's not true. Yes, it's true. Sorry. Okay, the second one is Frida Kahlo contracted polio when she was very young. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera finally got married. That is true.
Yes.
Frida Kahlo leg was amputated. I
You
think
want
it
to look?
was the right leg.
Okay, but of course the technique would be always to make sure, just in case.
Uh-huh.
And here it is. Yes, you're correct. Her right leg was amputated. All right. So, okay, when you see this kind of test, like on an IELTS or TOEFL, okay, because the answer happened to be D, Carolina more or less forced to do it anyway. But basically, the strategy is it's more time-consuming because you have to find the three things that are in the
Mhm.
text, right? So it's more of a time-consuming type of question. It's not difficult particularly, but what it is time-consuming. So keep that in mind. Okay, another reference question. Sam.
They were married in 1929. What does the word they refer to?
Rather, who, really?
Uh,
The who.
who does the word they refer to?
Yeah, my
Um,
mistake.
mhm. Maybe, maybe, uh, the.
D. I don't. Maybe we should
I
scan.
guess, I guess.
Or
I'm not
just check.
sure.
Okay, well, let's look. What are we going to look for? Here's the other thing
Mhm.
that you have to know about doing reading comprehension. And any reading comprehension test, you're going to be allowed to look at the reading passage as you answer the question. Of
Right.
course. So, what are you going to search for to see, to find it?
1929. Okay.
Absolutely. You're going to look for numbers or names with capital letters.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. They were
Yeah.
married
Right.
in 1929.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes,
So,
we were married in 1992. And Diego, who later she fell in love, they were married in 1992. Yes.
so,
And
so that's Diego Rivera
they,
and who?
with met she another artist.
Yeah.
Yes, and her name is Farida. Farida?
Yeah.
Farida Kahlo.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
There we go. All right. So there we go.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is. Frida
Farida Kahlo, yes.
and
C.
Diego.
Farida Kahlo
See.
and Diego.
Okay. Absolutely. Uh, okay. Okay. Now a vocabulary question. These are very common in the TOEFL exam, by the way. Definitely going to have several of these, maybe a dozen, 15 in a TOEFL exam. All right. Actually, Carlos, who came in late, you might be able to figure this one out because it's basically in context of a sentence. You want to try this one? Number 10?
Yes. Um, what is the synonym of deteriorate in the sentence? In the 1950, Frida's health began to deteriorate. Uh, the synonym of deteriorate is decline. Decline.
Indeed it is. Very good. Yeah, it got worse, and eventually she needed to get her leg amputated. Okay. All right. Yeah, now the strategy here, if you're taking, again, a standardized test, is to substitute the word, okay, into the sentence. In the 50s, health began to decline, health began to improve, health began to increase, health began to rise. So you find the one that makes the most sense in context. Okay, good job. You got it right. Okay, now we're going to reading comprehension. We're going to read a dialogue, conversation. Okay, well, Okay, start off with Carolina. Can you be Alice?
Mhm.
And Carlos? Other Carlos? Carlos Andres. You can be John. All right. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hello. Can I speak to John, please?
John speaks. Who is this?
John, speak.
Okay. Speaking. Okay, John. It is Alice.
Hi, Alice. What's up? You don't usually call?
Yes, I really need to talk to you. I've got an idea for our science paper.
Great. Let's hear it. What do you want to work on?
You know, a lot of people come up with the topics of global warming or energy shortage, but there is never anything original. So I think about doing something different. I want to focus more of the innovations of household equipment related to limited supply of energy.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Might as well finish it off. Go ahead, guys. Carlos? Carlos? Are you there? No? Carlos? Okay. Not sure. Maybe he lost. Oh, yeah. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Continue.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Do you have any example of this innovation?
Okay. He's losing
Of course,
connection.
yes.
All right.
Of course, there are a cooker using solar energy, radio using wind turbines, and many more.
Carlos? Okay, I'm gonna finish it off. Carlos, I think you're having a connection problem. Well then, let's meet up and talk about it. Is Tuesday okay with you?
Yes, that's fine. The project is not due until the next day, so we'll have a lot of time. See you then.
See ya. Okay. All right. Okay. An inference question is our first question. Okay. This is, you're going to find this in both TOEFL and IELTS, CAE, and these. Okay. You have to infer different pieces of information, but when you see these in a standardized test, the inference is not a great leap in logic. It is very obvious. It has to be. So, Sam, can you try question 11?
Yes, sure. Why do you think about the relationship between Alice and John? Classmates? Number
Yeah,
D?
I would see so.
Mhm.
I would guess so. Definitely. She doesn't usually call, and they're talking about definitely a school project.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Number 12. Suddenly we're in a column here, down. Carlos. Late Carlos. Well, not late like late into the class. Carlos, go ahead. Number 12.
Okay, let's hear it. What does the word it refers to?
Do you remember, or did you like me to scroll up?
I think I remember. Alice's idea.
Alice's idea. Yeah,
Alice's idea.
absolutely. She says, I have an idea, and John said, okay, let's hear it. Yes, definitely. Obviously, right from the beginning, you can eliminate Alice and John because they are not it. They are he and she
Yeah.
as pronouns. So, all right. Okay, well, I'm going to go straight across here. All right. Other Carlos, are you there? Or are you connected still? Or Carlos? First guy in the class, are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, dear. Give me a shout out if you're functioning, if your microphone is functioning, because I can't tell. Carolina, can you try? Well, we're skipping to 14 here, but
Okay. When should they hand in the project?
uh-huh.
I think they say on Thursday. Tuesday.
I think I don't remember, but okay. Well, let's take a look. Okay. Let's meet and talk about it. Is Tuesday okay with you? Yes, that's fine. The project is not due until the next day. Okay. So plenty of time. Well, I don't know. Okay, so when is the project due?
Friday.
Friday? Wait a minute. Is Tuesday okay? The project is not due until the next day. Friday? Does Friday come after Tuesday?
Wednesday, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay.
Sorry. I
Right.
am crazy today.
Okay. Gonna have to do a class about all right, days of the week, I suppose. My goodness. Okay. Where are we now? Number 13. Here we go. Sam, number 13.
Where does this dialogue take place? On the phone?
Definitely on the phone. Now, you could be confused with the video call, but he doesn't know who's calling, so we have to assume that there's no video. Yeah, obviously. Okay. Well, okay, we did that one already. So 15 here. Okay, this is very common for both IELTS and TOEFL and CAE. The central or summarizing idea of the entire passage. All right. Carlos, number 15 here.
What does the dialogue mainly talk about? Science paper.
Definitely a science paper. Okay. What is the dialogue? Dialogue. Yes, definitely. The main idea is the science paper. Anytime you're doing any reading comprehension, one thing to keep in mind, whether you're doing a test or whatever, or even just day-to-day business, what have you, it's going to be important to capture in your mind the gist of the information or the summary. Okay, let's see here. Okay. All right, next we are looking at a table or a chart table. Okay. Leonard is a college student, but he also works part-time at an Italian restaurant called Luigi's. This is his weekly schedule. Okay, here it is. In this type of exercise where you're looking at a chart or a table, it's pretty much pointless to, other than to, okay, recognize what the chart is. It's pretty much pointless to go into detail. Rather, you go straight to the questions and then refer to the chart. Okay, 7, 10, 13, 16. Okay. So let's do that. Hang on, let me change the font size so it's a little easier. Okay. All right. Okay. Other Carlos, late Carlos. Let's see. First one.
How often does Leonard meet Jane? Every week.
Okay. Here we go. Looking at the chart. Okay. What do you think? Looking at the chart.
I think twice in a week.
Twice in a week. All right. On Monday and Friday, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty basic. Okay, Carolina, number 17.
What does Leonard do at 1 p.m. every Tuesday?
Yes. Okay. Well, here you go.
He visits his grandma.
Sure. And they watch Days of Our Lives. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Sam, number 18.
Okay. How many classes does Leonard take every week?
All right.
Every week classes.
Week. Yeah.
Every week. I think he 1, 2, 2, and yes, maybe 2 classes, because there only says Study Germany and Study Germany as well. No, robotic class 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Yes, 5. 6. Basic
5,
engineering.
6.
Yeah, 6.
Okay. Wait a minute. Study German, not Germany. Study.
Okay.
That's two different things. Study German would be the language. Study Germany would be the country.
Okay. This is not a class, right?
This is not a class. This is his own time he's going to spend studying German language.
Yes, 4 classes.
So the answer would actually be 4 classes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, another kind of true false. All right, this is similar to the nasty type of question in TOEFL or IELTS, true, false, not given. So which is true? Okay, Carlos. Whoops.
Which of sentence is correct based on the test?
Okay.
Leonard is a teacher. False. Leonard cleans his house daily. Is false. Leonard never works at Luigi's on weekends. I'm not sure. Leonard always goes jogging in the morning on weekdays. This is false. So for default, I think it's C.
Okay, and just to double check, let's look at the weekend over here. Yeah, there's no work at Luigi's on the weekend. So yes, using process of elimination, good logical approach to the question. Okay. All right. Other Carlos. Try this one.
Okay. What does Leonard do in the morning on weekends? In the morning on weekends, do golfing.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Any ing activity, we use go. I don't know why do golfing. Go golfing. You do a golf class, all right? Activities that involve a class, like karate or taekwondo or something like that, yoga. You do yoga. You do step aerobics. You do Pilates. You do a golf class. You do a tennis lesson. But just for the activity itself, it's ing. And yes, good memory. Yes, it was go golfing. Okay, let's do one more, which is not going to fit. Oops, okay, never mind. Guess we're stuck with it. Okay. Actually, Sam, I don't think you've really done much reading. Can you read this? Can you see it okay?
Yes.
Dear Diary, go ahead.
Yes. And dear Daddy, today is the first day of school. I am so excited. I have been very bored this holiday, so I have been longing for school. The first subject today is English literature. It's my favorite. It's almost 8 o'clock. The school bus will arrive soon. I will continue again after school.
Okay. Well, there you go. Good job and nice intonation, by the way. Okay, let's look at the questions. Hang on. Okay. All right, I'm going to go kind of backwards. Carolina, in your opinion, who writes this note?
In your opinion, who writes this note? A student?
Yeah, I would definitely say a student. Why would you say a student?
Because here he said that it's the first day of school.
Yeah, could be the teacher, though. The teacher has a first day of school, too. So does a bus driver. Actually.
Because here she said that the first subject today is English literature.
Okay, yes, that's definitely a clue. Generally, teachers teach one subject, but not always. Sometimes in primary school, teachers teach a variety of subjects, but not usually English literature. You don't teach English literature to 6-year-olds, for example. Right. And also, she's getting on the school bus, and I personally have never seen a teacher get on a school bus. Okay. Next one, Carlos.
Sorry, I have a question. What will be the answer? Bus driver?
No, the answer here was definitely student, because first of all, they're taking an English literature class, and secondly, they're getting on a school bus. A bus driver gets on a school bus, but a bus driver isn't excited about English literature class. So, yeah, it's definitely a student. Okay, Carlos, go ahead.
I've been longing for a school. What does the expression involved mean? To become longer?
Become longer? No. To become longer, that means changing her shape or size. And I don't think the student is necessarily changing her size. Okay, here's another clue for you. To become longer, to become taller, these would actually mean exactly the same thing. So any of these kinds of tests, if you see two answers that are completely synonymous and mean exactly the same thing, then you can eliminate both of them. All right. It has nothing to do with physical. It's more abstract. So you're left with A or C, Carlos. What do you think? I've been longing for school.
I think letter C.
Well, okay, let's take a look. Hang on. I'm so excited. I have been very bored. I've been longing for school. Which one matches her feelings? I'm excited. I'm so bored. I'm longing for school. Is she tired for school? Notice the object of the phrasal verb is school. So this would mean that she's tired of school, but she's been on vacation. So actually, the answer is to want something badly. All right, you long for something, you want it really badly. Okay, so if you long for a vacation, you want a vacation. If you long for a bologna sandwich, you want a bologna sandwich. That's it. Okay, other Carlos. First Carlos in the class, are you there?
Just teacher.
Okay, a little inference, intention of the author here.
What does the writer feel when she writes this entry? Maybe happy?
I think so. I'm happy. She's so excited about her English literature class.
Mhm.
She can't wait for the school bus. Definitely. The other ones are all negative. Dreadful, definitely. Highly negative. Misery is deep sadness. Shocked is, well, it's neutral. You can be shocked because you won the lottery, but it's often negative. Okay. Good job. And another reference question here. Sam. Number 24. Sam, are you there? Sam, are you there? No? Sam. Are you there? Am I here? Am I existing? Carolina, okay, can you try number 24?
In the sentence, it's my favorite. What does the word "it's" refers to? English literature subject?
I am pretty sure you're exactly correct. It's my favorite is directly behind the statement. The first subject today is English literature. It is my favorite. Okay, very good. And last, Sam, are you back? Are you here? Sam? Check 1, check 2. No, not able to hear you. Not sure. Connection or what. Okay, Carlos, last question here.
What is the antonym of the word bored?
Okay.
Oh,
Excited.
Here we have excited. Yeah, antonym, of course, is the word that has the opposite meaning. Synonym is a word that has the same meaning, or sometimes synonyms are not exactly the same, but very similar. Antonyms, basically the opposite. The opposite of bored is excited. Yeah, okay. All right, very good. That's about all the time, and we did do exactly half of the test. It's a 50-question test, so in any case, tomorrow we're going to continue, but there's going to be a lot more writing and grammar tomorrow. So, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thanks.